Yo, my people, what up, though? What up, though? We back. We are back with another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. The gang is back together. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. What do you say, bro?
I am very happy to be here.
Let's go, fellas. My name is Chief.
And I'm Bell.
My name is Prentice.
And we back live with y'all, man. What's up, fellas? It's good to be back after a too long hiatus. We finally gonna get this joint out. Get the people what they want. What it do, man? I miss y'all boys and I love y'all boys and I'm happy to see y'all faces. And like I haven't seen them recently, but you know, I need to tell y'all that so the people know that I'm happy to see y'all. What's happening?
We love you back, man.
Yeah, we here.
Word. P, it's been a while. What's happening? What's good? Check in, fam. Let the people know what's been up for the last 6 months.
Shit, for real, bro. Well, shit, the Grammy nomination run ended last week, so shout out to that campaign being done. Shout out to the album
Word.
Pack Light, man. That shit was a fun campaign.
It ain't over though.
I'm just it ain't over, but the nomination run. So I just gotta wait for the results on the 7th. I'll be at my cousin Kyle's wedding in Arizona for that. I'm oddly calm, bro. Like there's not 5 albums better than mine. So I'm kind of like, I'm here, you know what I mean? And it's a weird feeling being in this space of confidence and certainty and humility at the same time, right? Like it's kind of hard to be like, I've been here before, so I know what it takes. I matched and exceeded that this time than I did last time with more knowledge, and I know what I know, right? So it's like I had to decide whether I was going to sit in my certainty or like leave room for some, I think there may be natural anxiety, but it's at a minimum. You know what I mean? So
That's cool.
it's been an interesting space to be in when you have a level of confidence and experience in something, knowing that it ain't certain, but feeling like it's already written, so that's cool, man. The kids are straight. I'm busy. I'm back in the teaching, so I'm back in the classroom. I'm teaching at middle school this year. 2 middle schools, one in West Oakland, and then another one in a little bit more affluent area in Oakland. The Pilates studio is going real good, man. We moving and shaking with that. About to be back on this road for a little bit with the poems. And yeah, that's about it, man. Like you just everything is in motion. You know what I mean? Like just constant motion. So ain't no real gripes or anything, but just constant motion. So just working with the obstacles, and none of them are like in my way, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like nothing I got to fight through. It's just things happen, you deal with them, and you keep pushing. But everybody's good in the house, bro. Like everybody's straight.
So how long has it been for Pilates now, man? A year
The
or close
studio
to
been
it?
open since September 24, so we're over a year.
Mm.
Over a year, man. And there's been some developments. I'll tell you all about offline that are all positive. In regards to that definitely have us more motivated and invested in the studio.
That's what's up.
Um,
Have
so
you kind of a silly question, but I'm assuming you've felt or seen the um result of having a regimen of Pilates, because if you're an instructor, it ain't like you just instructing, right? You active too. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
So
man. And I'm at, especially now, I've been at like 3 or 4 classes a day for the last like almost 2 weeks, man. But I teach 5 days a week. Um, yeah, it's cool because one, it takes away. Okay, in a way, it takes away the fun because you're always teaching, right? So in your free time, you're not
yeah.
as inclined to come into the studio and do your thing. So now what I do is I pick my pockets with each class. I may do upper body with this class and do core with the next class and lower body with this class. But there's really no excuse not to be in shape. You know what I'm saying? It can't happen at this point. Like it can't. So that's what I think I love most is that I'm working out daily, whether I'm on the Peloton in the garage, or I'm doing Pilates, or I'm going to the gym. So
Oh, I didn't know you had the pillow. I gotta
yeah,
find you
well, we
one
got
day.
that like in August. So I
Mm.
done fell in love with that because we was paying way too much going to, that expensive bougie gym just
Spin
for the
class,
cycle
yeah.
class. So yeah, health is definitely at the forefront, but now it's a lifestyle thing, which is dope because I've never had health as like an actual part of my lifestyle. It's just been pockets, you know what I'm saying, where I got tapped in, but it's inevitable now. So I really enjoy that. And I feel definitely better. So yeah,
It's
it's all working.
crazy. I heard a quote, and it was an older guy talking to a bodybuilder, and he was like, "Was last time you seen a 300 pound 80-year-old?" And the bodybuilder thought, he was like, "I don't know that I've ever seen a 300 pound 80-year-old." He's like, "Exactly." You know what I mean? So it's like you don't get your weight together, you ain't gonna be around.
Yeah, yeah,
And
it's real.
so when he said, I mean, not that I've ever been 300 pounds, but it's just something to think about. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
There's
Keep it
definitely a
together, man.
correlation. Yeah, it's a
You know,
correlation.
what's up with you, Bill?
I'm good, man. A lot of stuff going on, all good stuff. Had a great conversation with my man Mac today. Shout out my man Mac. And we were talking about, it's funny because I feel like if I go down this path, this could end up being an episode, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Fuck it.
We were talking about, because every time I talk to him, we just for context, Mac and I were college roommates, knowing each other over 25 years at this point, which is crazy. It's my brother. He was the only dude that wasn't um like one of my immediate guys that I grew up with that was in my wedding. Like the only guy that wasn't from New Britain where I grew up in my
Did we meet
wedding.
him in San Diego?
No, that's Sparks. That was my
Okay.
other roommate. Yeah, that's my
Okay.
white slave roach.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my guy too. Um, anyway, we were talking, man, and I was telling him, I'm like, um, I'm always, and he does, my man Mac does very well. But we were talking about how we all carry some level of survivor's remorse, like some level, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's overt or it's like just something that's subconscious is something. And I said, what I tend to do is I reach back for a lot of people, just calls, conversations, touch base, check-ins, shit like that. And I told him, I was like, my point in doing that is I'm always just wanting to keep the pulse on where people are and if there's anything I can do to help them, right?
Hmm.
And what I told him, and I said, but outside of my core people, that's not reciprocated. And what I said is, I'm like, it. I know why it's not reciprocated. You know what I'm saying? And what I was explaining to him, I'm like, because people hold us in whatever light they hold us in, and I know what happens to you guys when people like, oh no, like Prentice is probably on the road. I don't want to bother him. You know what I'm saying? I'll catch up with him at some other point. You know, he's probably teaching the Pilates class, you know,
Hmm.
whatever. And they don't reach out for one reason or another. And what I was explaining to him, I'm like, I said I had an epiphany, bro. I said because I reach down a lot, like to try to help people get to where they want to get to, not where I want them to go, but where they want to go, right? And I said, and I have my core folks, and then I brought him up, and I'm like, I found myself recently making the same excuse for you. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna wait to call Mac on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? He probably busy. He probably got a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm gonna just call him when the weekend hit, so he'll have some free time. And then I don't call. So me and Mac probably speak once a month, but every time we speak for over an hour. Well, I say all of that to say the the point I was having with him that got deep today. I'm like peer to peer, like somebody that's like at where you are or where you want to be. We don't, I don't reach out enough. I'm always reaching down, like
Hmm.
part of my survivor's remorse, but I don't reach out up or lateral enough. You know what I'm
Interesting.
saying? And that was just like I had a long car ride today, so it was real great. It was great perspective, man. It was great perspective, and the whole reason I was calling him was to catch up. He has a little girl now to catch up and to tell him that I'm proud of him. And I said, I don't know that peer to peer we say that enough to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like people like that look up to you, they say it all the time, right? Like you bump into somebody that you grew up with or something like that. Anybody that holds you in a high regard, not that your peers don't hold you in a high regard, but somebody that may put you like at a place that you don't feel like you deserve to be. You know what I'm saying? And they will say, I'm proud of you, I'm this, I'm that. But somebody who that's at where you are or slightly above you, in my from my lens, I don't do it enough. And I did shout you out though, Chief. I said Chief is actually really good at that. Like just randomly hitting you up. Like I'm
Mhm.
proud of you, bro. So
Yeah.
anyway, long check-in, but that shifted my energy today. You know what I'm saying? It shifted my energy. And we have another treatment that was written on the heels of that conversation that we can get to at another date. But uh that's what's going on with me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where my mind is at. It's like how much more can I be accountable to the people who would like to hear from me, you know what I'm saying, as my check-in with them versus them maybe even reaching down to me to check into me. You know what I'm saying? The same way I want people that I reach down to check in more. I need to take that same advice and do it as well. It's multiple scenarios that came up this week where people who are where I want to be or aspiring to be, and I'm like, I don't call them enough. You know what I mean? Which there's something there. But anyway, that's going out, getting into everything that's going on with me. That'd be too long. So that's where I'm at today. I'm grateful for good relationships. I'm grateful for health. You know what I'm saying? We just talking about that, and I'm good, man. I'm good. That's the update with me.
I'm glad you brought that up because I honestly had the exact same feeling with the exact same person. I was thinking about Mac the
Hmm.
other day in my head. I was like, oh, I got to reach out to dude, and then had that same conversation with myself and didn't hit him up.
Yep.
This was less than a week ago for sure.
And
And
people have those same conversations about you and don't call you. You know what I'm
and
saying? And that's the whole point. But
and it's
anyway,
crazy. And to your point, like I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, I did that just the other day, and I sent the joint to Ty the other day, and my man, this dude Ben, he's a photographer for like when I used to play flag. He would always go to he never played,
mm,
was always there taking pictures, and I would always just pay him to get his pictures or whatever. And last year, maybe the year before, his house burned down. Him and all of his kids, his
Jesus,
family displaced or whatever. And he was just staying positive, staying positive. I was kind of, I always say like, what's up, hoping, praying for you, blah, blah, blah. And I just hit him up. They're like, yo, on a random Monday, just want to say, I appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. You and the family are still in my prayers. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, brother, I needed that. Thank you so much. And I'm just like, it's just so cool. But to your point, like Max, my guy, you know what I'm saying? And I was hesitant to reach out. Like, he got the baby, he working his tail off. Let me just, give him the space.
yeah,
Like, yo, like, why wouldn't he want to hear from his homies? You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm. Thinking about that, I was thinking about it when you were saying it, Bill. I think this is what I will say in regards to reaching out laterally or reaching up. I think there is legitimacy to people being less accessible. I really do believe that. I think
it's a fair point.
people when I think about who I feel like are lateral or higher than me, they are harder to get in contact with. You
they
know,
Yeah,
are.
but
like
Pete, they may
well,
be, but not for you. They want to hear
That's the
from you.
point.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and I get that point. So what I was going to say is, I think there's some legitimacy to people not being as acceptable, and I think what's more important is the act, right? It's getting the
exactly.
voicemail, it's leaving the message over not reaching out at all. So I think the
Yeah.
training is
Couldn't
just
agree more.
yeah, like send the text, make the phone call, regardless of the outcome. That way you're doing your part. You know what I'm saying? And then they get back to you when they can or they don't, and you try again.
Yeah,
That was my thought while Bill was talking.
Yeah,
yeah, for
and I
sure.
think we avoid the act.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because we
Yeah,
convince ourselves
we
everything
talk
that you do,
ourselves
and
out of it.
we've all done it. We've all
Yeah.
done it. Yeah, I'm with you. Check
Yeah,
in, Chief.
like y'all, man. Everything is positive, and everything's been good. Working my tail off. Just finished out. I don't think we talked about it, but Bell and I and my man, shout out to Ray Wilson, did
Mm.
Streak Timber, where every day of
Mm.
September we had to run a mile
Nice.
every day, and we kind of send each other our records every day, and just kept held each other accountable. And I think it was just cool to kind of do something that I'm absolutely not conditioned to doing, and just being like, it was days where, bro, we put a little $100 wager on it. I'm like, man, fuck this $100. They can have that. I'm like, nah, it like it take in my head. I swear to you, Pete, from Uncle Elroy, take 20 minutes, and I mean they take 20 minutes, but like that's what I said every day. Take 20 minutes, go out there and just get it done, bro. And I would go and
Hmm.
I have my little route that I run, and it would like depend on which way I went, it would let me right at my house at the mile, like right before my house would be the mile, and I have enough time to walk to my house and just cool down a little bit, go inside and do my thing. So, but it was kind of cool, man, just to kind of just to do something. It really was like pushing a boundary for me, like really stepping out of a comfort zone, because we football guys, man. Anything longer than the football field was torture to us. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Shit, the length of the football field was torture to us. Like,
right.
yeah.
So it was a good thing. I haven't run a mile since, but I think I'm gonna get back into it, start doing the running. But I definitely needed to rest. My knee started hurting after a while. Like, I'm just running. What's going on? But you know what I'm saying. But that was
That
cool.
being said, and I'll let you continue. I got a text loaded up to see if y'all want to run the Newport, Rhode Island half in October.
Half what?
Half a mile.
Half a mile?
Half speed.
Right? Half 100? Like half of what? Marathon?
800
Hell
meters.
no. A half a
Half a
marathon? Can
marathon,
we start
man.
with a
Yeah,
5K? A
bro. We got
1K
till October. We can sprinkle some 5Ks and 10Ks in there.
next October?
Yeah, niggas, 9 days left in this one. You think I'm gonna have
I'm
you?
saying we got to train. We got to train together then,
We
because I'm
got a
not
year. Yeah,
no
there's a whole
together.
train together,
I'm not running 5+ miles by myself and then have to put six. What's a half? What's a half? 13 and some change?
bro. You can run five by yourself. You can run five by yourself.
What
But
is the
Yeah,
answer to
I'm
how much is half a marathon?
I think
13.1.
13.1 miles.
All right, man. I'll see y'all at the finish line, cheering y'all on.
And
Listen,
that's
Bell, my man,
appreciated.
Oss ran a 5K. I was like, yeah, y'all go ahead and handle it. I was at the finish line with the camera. Let's go, fellas, my guys. Super
Like,
proud
we
of him.
did it. We did
Yeah,
it.
super proud of him. Not I, said the cat.
No.
We can
For
talk
real.
offline. Continue to check in. I just wanted to put that out
No,
there.
that's it, man. Everything's going well. Just rooting for my man P to get this, you know what I mean, to get this nomination on the
Nah, that's a
Dolo tip.
fact, man.
And
I like your chances, P. I like your chances. I mean, I always like y'all chances. That's my problem. Like I'm biased, right? But I just feel like I'm always impressed by your artwork and your vision for
Mm.
your what is it, videography? Your I don't know how to say it, but
Yeah,
the videos you
videography.
put together.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
like the
saying, like, I'm
campaign
always
you're doing
impressed
for it.
by the visual, you know what I mean? And that's not gonna win you a nomination, but it's good to see the whole package. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Thank you.
and
Yeah, yeah.
obviously the album is dope. But anyway, yeah, I'm hopeful, man, and I love your positive outlook and confidence. You know what I'm saying, because
Yeah.
you
Thank you,
didn't get this
man.
far without it. You know what I mean? So
that's
Yeah.
what's up. We 18 minutes in, Phil. Let's jump into it, because the last. So just for y'all know, we recorded 2 episodes prior to this that we just decided we weren't going to release, and we back at it.
yeah,
But let's
lot
get
going
to it.
on, lot going
Yeah,
on, lot going on.
lot going on. But go ahead. This treatment's on you, so
Yeah,
go ahead and introduce what we talking about today.
we probably gonna title this gender roles and in parentheses tradition or quotation marks traditional gender roles in air quotes. Because this came to me the other day, like I was cleaning the bathroom, and because I'll let our listeners know, I'm in my fiscally responsible era, so we don't have a house cleaner anymore. Like, now we're gonna hold on to that bread. I can clean these bathrooms. You know what I'm saying? I can do what we need to do. And um I'm cleaning the bathroom, and our bathroom is tile, and it's like, I think we have hard water, so sometimes like the grout gets discolored, so you got to scrub it off and all of that. And I'm in there getting to it, and I'm like, damn, I don't know if I would ever saw myself like well, no, what I said was, I wonder how many of my male friends clean their bathrooms in their cohabitating dwellings. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, how many of my male friends are doing this? And then they got me to thinking, how many of my female friends are maybe doing some male traditional gender roles? You know what I mean? So I just got to thinking about in 2025, where are we with gender roles? And people that can't see me, air quote gender roles, right? Like, I don't think by and large they don't exist anymore, but there are still more traditional men and still more traditional women. So it just got me to thinking about our own relationships and how we show up in those relationships as it pertains to roles slash responsibilities. And do we assign it as, okay, hey, well, that's a wife's job, or that's a woman's job, air quotes, right? This is a man's job, this is a husband's job. Like, how do you, like, my first of all, before we get into the questions, how do you guys feel about that topic? Right? Do you think they still exist? Do you think it's a thing of the past? What are your initial thoughts?
I think so. I feel like gender roles are a standard in life. There are certain things, and maybe I'm leaning more towards chivalry at this point. The first thing that comes to mind is social media got the game fucked up, and
Yes.
it's always like playing on gender roles in a way that like men and women both are oblivious to just things that come standard. Like, and I saw something the other day, and I felt like Shorty was trolling, but I don't know. But she's like, I'm going out with this dude on a date, and it was raining, and he asked me if I wanted him to drop me off at the door, so and he'd park the car. She was like, no, I'll just go with you. So he pulled into the gas station and brought me an umbrella. And this nigga brought me an umbrella. Like, I want you to make me run in the rain. And I'm just like, I felt like she was trolling, but dude, there was a dude doing a commentary about it. He's like, oh, this is what society is now. And I'm just like, oh, that's crazy. Like, as a gentleman, that's what you should do. Pull up, either give her your shirt, put over her head or something like your jacket, or just pull over, get a quick umbrella so she can stay dry. And Shorty was like complaining about that. And I'm just like, yo, that's this like it's wild. Again, I don't know if she was trolling or not.
If she's not trolling, she just wants something to complain about, bro.
Right.
Like,
Okay. So
in
to
my
that to that
opinion.
to that point, like in that, I know again that could be chivalry, but it's still a gender thing for me. Like the man should make sure his lady stays dry. And it's like, how can you get upset with me for wanting to care for you? You know what I'm saying? So I think in some cases,
Well, that's I would say what you're talking about is chivalry, but the role he's playing is to protect and provide. So,
and
like, and that is a traditional male role.
I believe more women than not, maybe not these days, I don't know, would prefer
But that's
some
why we're talking
traditional,
about it.
yeah,
Like,
some traditional gender roles to be played in a relationship. Again, I think in your case, like I don't know if cleaning a tub is a gender type thing, but you serve as a helpmate to your wife. Like she can do
yeah.
next week she could be doing the tub or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you took on the responsibility. But I think in relationships, like you offer that space to help me. Like I don't think I'd ever walk to your house and see Lo cutting the grass. That's just not something. I mean,
You won't never walk to my house and see me cutting the grass. That's just not part of my ministry.
no.
Like,
But I'm
like I
saying, like
said,
if you
I'm fiscally responsible, but I'm not about to waste my time. Like, I'm still outsourcing that.
but okay, so grass cutting. How many times have you hired a female landscaper? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just certain.
So,
Not that they don't do it, but
no, but to keep it real, I'm not aligning gender to any title, but I will say I've had women come, like my exterminator in my the last house I sold in Connecticut was a woman. And again, my ideology is, I'm when I think of exterminator, I think of the dude from Martin, who was the plumber. But I think that's what I think exterminators look like. You know what I'm saying? And then she showed up. I'm
might
like,
cost you a lot. Might
yeah,
cost you a
might
little,
cost you a little, but it's
but it's
gonna
gonna
cost
cost.
you. So, like, so when I showed up, I'm like, oh wow, that's what's up. And to answer your question, I don't know. To answer your question, not often have I hired somebody to do something and the traditional gender that does those roles didn't show up. That's the short answer to that question.
Mm.
Prentice, what are your thoughts about? And like I said, we'll get into the question. But what are your thoughts? Do you think they exist still? Do you think it's as prevalent, not prevalent? Gender
Your
roles?
volume just got real low for some reason. It was weird. Um,
Oh, these bullshit headphones.
so, speak again.
Can you hear me?
You're really low. Is he low for you, Chief? That's weird. Yeah, you got real low for me. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So my response, I think, I'm just making sure. Oh shit, my phone's about to die. Y'all keep talking. Y'all keep talking. Let me ask in a minute.
That's what happens when we talk for a damn hour before we start recording because we was
I know,
talking
right?
before we started recording. Prentice ain't got his
Should get
shit
into
right.
it. So, what was your initial? What's your question again, Bell?
No, my initial question was how do you guys generally feel about gender roles? Like, do you think they're still a thing? And then that's when you went into the example of the chivalry with the guy. Um, but I also think Prentice brought up Instagram. I also think that I personally feel that people who aren't capable of outlining what they want and what they need can be swayed in the wrong direction based on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't know who you are and what you want, you can be convinced that you should be running in the rain with your man. Where it's like, no, like you don't have to run in the rain with your man, especially when he's asking you, or especially when he bought you an umbrella.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like if you're not centered in who you are and what you need from a partner, right? Because the other thing that we didn't even talk about is what happens when it's a same sex marriage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like that's another reason why I think these personally to answer the question that I asked, I don't personally believe that gender roles. I personally believe it's less common than not to see a completely traditional home. Meaning, which when I say traditional, I mean like the way things used to be, like right after women got the right to vote. It's like, okay, you're going to be in the house pregnant barefoot, right? Like that was the model. I don't know that that exists holistically, where it's like you're my wife, you don't touch anything, you don't work, you don't do anything, you don't make decisions, right? Like it's that's what I said holistically, because it's like there's a lot of women who are domestic engineers, right? Stay at home moms, but they have financial decisions that are being made with their husband. They have career decisions that are being made with their husband. Whereas when I say traditional, I mean the when I say like the standard old school traditional, I don't know that those homes exist in totality. I think there's pockets, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think there's pockets that people will lean into, but I don't think in totality that they exist as much as well. They definitely don't exist as much as they used to. But I don't. I would say if out of 10 homes, and this is my opinion, maybe three are old school traditional, right? Like my wife don't do nothing, not nothing, but I mean doesn't have decision making power. That's what I mean.
I think society has made it real picky, choosy, and hypocritical at times when it comes to gender roles. Like you can see men watch another man switching his hips, rocking a purse, acting every bit of feminine, and see a bunch of men be like, "Nah, that ain't it." and then be attacked for setting some standards for what they feel that the identity of manhood in the form of gender roles are. Then on the flip side, you could have men saying what they are and then being told that that's not it anymore. You know what I mean? Like I think things
To
have.
their spouse or
You said
to
what?
whom? To their spouse or to whom? You said
I
men
I
could
I
say what.
I think in general, but I think what's happened in society now is that like you realize that most of that shit is out the window and it's really based upon your life circumstances. I kind of feel like, you know what I mean? Like the idea of gender roles, yeah, it's it sounds good to an extent in theory, but does that apply to your life? Like, are you living the same life your grandfather was? You know what I'm saying? Society doesn't run like that anymore. Women aren't, being forced to stay at the house. And then on the flip side, what is your life experience? My shit got totally flipped in marriage because being an artist, I think that's an automatic time where you got to kind of identify gender roles as a man. If I'm a full time artist and my
That's a
wife is
great example.
working full time, she's leaving the house. I was with Shy every day the first 2.5 years of her life. Every day. You know what I'm saying? Like I was her every day.
And that's
Sarai
not a
got
traditional
home,
gender role.
right? That's a very non-traditional gender role, right? Sarai got home at 6 p.m. You know what I'm saying? So I was with this baby, picking up kids, dropping off, doing all this and that. Then when you bring in the money part, it's like, okay, as an artist, you got your peaks and valleys. So I was always making a lot of money. So then it comes in like, oh, she's bringing in the majority of the bread. Now, when it comes to traditional gender roles, I'm questioning how much of a provider I am. Now, granted, I'm taking care of these fucking kids, but is that a provider when it comes to
So,
traditional gender roles with a man? So now I
so
can look and say I'm
yeah.
doing something, but I don't know if that's enough because the image I've been told and what I've been taught is that it's my job to do essentially what my wife has been doing. So am I living up to the idea of what a man actually is? And I think like that's a mind fuck within itself. Now I have other pockets and I've set up more things in place so that I have different things going on simultaneously to where I don't have that feeling. You know what I mean? So I think it really depends on your reality. And then you have to address what you've been taught and you have to ask yourself, is that identity of gender, does that apply to me? And if it doesn't, is it real? That's the next question. Does that make me less of a man? Am I not a man because I'm taking care of the kids more than the mom is? Or I'm at home and I'm doing the cooking, I'm doing the cleaning, and I'm doing the washing the dishes. And Sarai don't, I know I'm talking long, but I'll wrap it. Sarai
You
don't
good,
wash
bro?
dishes. She don't wash dishes. I mean, she will, but she doesn't. The dishes will pile up. So I know when I see dishes, I just get to it. But what else does she do? Every fucking thing else. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like a lot of that shit is out the window, but it really just applies to what type of lifestyle you set up for yourself and your family.
That last statement is it. What you just said. That's it, right? Because first of all, Prentice, with your monologue just now, you pretty much tapped into
Shit was
all the
long as
questions
fuck.
I had. Like we
No.
got to go into it deeper, but you pretty much tapped into all the questions because you felt insecure
Hmm.
because what you envisioned a man's job should be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Traditional gender roles. But in that same conversation with my man Mac, he was like, the analogy I like to give is what level, like if you're playing a video game, like let's just say Mario Brothers, whatever, what do you need to do to get to the next level? What do you have to conquer on this level to get to the next level? Right? That's it. And that level, you needed to be home with Shy, right? Like
Hmm.
that was where you needed to be. Like that's what you needed to be for you guys to collectively get to the next level.
Hmm.
Whereas your pride, to your point, because that's what was happening, right? Your pride was being triggered, and like your manhood was maybe even being in question based on what you were bringing to the proverbial table.
Hmm.
Where it's like, nah, I'm doing something that doesn't, however you thought about it, I could see myself being like, I'm doing something that I would have said to myself that anybody can do, right? I
Mm-hmm.
need to go out and do some stuff that I'm great at to maximize our opportunity. But the truth is, what your family needed from you at that moment was exactly what you were given.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, but we can convince ourselves that there is more to what we're doing, should be doing versus being in the moment. But what are your thoughts on that, Chief?
I don't think I'm looking at it from like a societal perspective, right? And I think there would be people who would have something negative to say about Prentice taking that role and questioning his
Yeah, I
manhood.
agree.
Yeah.
But that goes back to my point about social media being like ruining shit. Like, how is that? Like, so what I wrote down here, the 80-20, 50-50 type thing, where like sometimes like it ain't 50-50. Like sometimes it's your wife giving 80 and you putting in a 20, or vice versa. And I think that's just the nature of how it goes in successful committed relationships. But people would argue that that doesn't work for them. I need my man to
But
do
here's
the
my
A
whole.
B C X Y Z.
I agree with you, bro. And the thing that sucks is, how can you say what you need before you even know who he is or she is?
Great ass point.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I need my woman to do this, I need to do that. But what
How do
if
you
my
know?
woman, yeah, she shows up and she's doing shit I never even knew needed to be done?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now as a result, I'm like, oh, well, what I thought was important actually really isn't important as it
Mhm.
pertains to us.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and there's character things, there's values things that you can want and need in a person, right? Like that's gonna remain constant no matter who you're with. They're gonna want to see that in someone. But in terms of roles and responsibilities and providing and caring, you don't know what you're gonna need until you are with that person. Because
Mm-hmm.
you may be a different version of yourself. You may be an unrecognizable version of yourself with this new person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
But
Chief,
doesn't that normally goes into the betterment of the person though? No, like I think when those instances happen, people grow and become better versions of themselves.
but what I'm saying is, I'm trying to give you an analogy. I'm trying to think of one quick of an analogy. But it's like you don't know what that person's going to bring out of you, right? So if that person's making you better, great. Well, maybe the better version of you doesn't need that woman or that man to do what you deem necessary from that gender role. Maybe you're going to go pay somebody to do that because they're too valuable to be doing that. That's why I don't cut my grass because I don't know how to cut grass. And I know how much I make an hour. And my time is better spent on figuring out how to make that money than paying somebody $50 to cut my grass.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I
it's
remember
like,
this conversation. Yeah.
yeah, like that. That's why I don't cut my grass.
Yeah, I remember you talking
And
about outsourcing.
yeah, so and if a woman said, I need my man to be a manly man. I need him out there cutting the grass. I'm not him. So you're going to throw away all my other great qualities because I'm not showing up in this one? But this is what I'm saying. You predetermine, like you don't know what's going to be when you meet somebody.
Yeah. Or what it's gonna be like when you actually get in the role. Like the flip side was after that stage was over, Sarai decided she didn't want to work no more for a minute. And I said, oh, okay. I'm
Yeah,
with
you
whatever the
got
fuck Sarai want. I literally
take it
am. Yeah.
how it come.
So she didn't work for a moment. So who was it on? It was on me as an artist to figure it out. And I figured it out. We also collected a little bit of debt while I figured it out. But I figured it out and then realized I don't really feel fulfilled doing it on this side either, though. So now is the thing
Mm,
that I've been waiting for in a role that I feel like I've been waiting to fulfill. It ain't giving me a sense of accomplishment really because I'm still struggling. You know what I mean? Or I'm not doing it to the level that feels comfortable for me and everybody else. So then it's like, well, fuck, I had a problem on this side of the fence, and now I got a problem on this side of the fence. Why the fuck am I listening to these labels and these titles and trying to fill this image? Because don't neither one work for me at this point
right,
yet. You know what I mean?
right.
Like neither one brings me more satisfaction. So I think the question is how much of society's image do we put ourselves in that same portrait? Or do we allow ourselves to have a blank canvas and then erase that motherfucker so we can create a new one depending on what we need next. You know, we can't stay at the same image. Sometimes we gotta erase that shit. Like, all right, neither one of
I
these
think
works. And
that's
what does it look like?
Yeah, that's those roles are evolving within a relationship, but you guys are communicating about those and making adjustments.
Yeah.
so, Chief. Um, when you had a cohabitating relationship, how did you go about assigning roles, or like, was it just like understood? Did you sit down and be like, hey, here's what I'm responsible for, here's what you're responsible for? You guys just morph into whatever?
I think it 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 started off as one of them like I just took on the quote unquote traditional gender roles and like what was understood didn't need to be explained. And then anytime something came up, it was, can you help me with this or can you help me with that? And it was a communication about it. There was, I don't think like in-house issues or in-house situations created any issues. It was always like, there was always easy conversations about what bills needed to be paid or what, like dinner was made and it wasn't, like stuff like that. Like the traditional gender roles took their course and everything was fine. The issues were far beyond like that stuff. So I don't think there was any, I think I just assumed the roles that I could. And if ever anything went left, there was a conversation about it. And as far as like the roles are played, and that was an easy
So
fix.
you, yeah, you just, it sounds like what you're saying is you assume the the traditional gender roles as you knew them.
Yep. As I knew them, I was, taking care of the bills, taking, just taking out the trash, cutting the grass, doing my part as a dad with the baby. You know what I'm saying? And that was that.
Bill, do you?
And well,
But I was gonna ask you. Like, you seem a lot. You're very calculated. So, like, in your house, are they specific conversations, or do they kind of organically do what they need to do and kind of iron themselves out, or do you have like did y'all have you and Lola have those conversations like okay this is me this is you.
so when we bought our first house, the rule was I'm responsible for everything outside. She's responsible for everything inside. So,
That was a mutually agreed upon rule.
hmm hmm like as far as chores, um, upkeep, and what wasn't fully discussed was when outside needs upgrade. Like we had a pool, and we did a bunch of stuff. What was understood was, okay, if it's outside, again, back to what Chief was saying, it wasn't explicitly decided in or said, but it was like, what's outside is you. So if the pool liner ripped, I got to pay for the pool liner, right? If the retaining wall needs to be replaced, I got to replace the retaining wall. But what wasn't fully communicated was, like, if something happens inside that needs to be fixed, like upgrading the bathroom or kitchen or hardwood floors or whatever, like, it wasn't like, okay, so since this is inside, does this come out of your money? You know what I'm saying? Like, I still found myself taking on financial responsibilities without a conversation, even though it fell outside of my purview.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? But that was the only explicit conversation we had. And now that because I'm the low is YOLO, bro. Like low, like
Go for it,
she
fuck it, we got
BMX,
it,
man.
spin it, let's do it.
She blowing money fast, man. Like,
Yeah.
and and her response to that is two things. couple things. One, she's not like a fancy woman. Like she doesn't have like she has one designer bag that I bought her. She would never buy a designer bag for herself. Um, her most expensive sneakers I bought her. Right. She's not like a big like big ticket spender,
Mhm.
but she will $15 to $38 the shit out of some Amazon Prime. Like
This nigga said $15 to $38. Give me
15 to
17 of
38,
them.
like every day. Like like every day something's coming in. And I was like, I remember the first when we first moved here because most of the Prime stuff and all that was post pandemic for us at least. And I'm like, yo, how is there a package at this house every day? But again, talk about what you envision as a role and then what you actually need in that relationship.
Mhm.
Lo hasn't been to a grocery store since the pandemic, bro.
Mhm.
So what she says is she's like, babe, everything that we own or that we need, I get online. I don't go to the grocery store. Like again, we on our fiscally responsible stuff. So she's recently started going to the grocery store only to have them come put them in her car. Like, like,
She
like
still ain't
that's
going to the grocery store.
nah. But we cut out the expense of having to deliver it,
The
so she goes to
delivery.
pick it up to save some money. But anyway, so I say all that to say when I'm learning her, I'm learning that she's the person that I really got a true understanding for how valuable time is.
Mm.
Like she don't play about her time. So it's like, no, if I have to go to the grocery store again before recently, if I have to go to the grocery store, that's not worth my time. So I'm just gonna have somebody bring it here. So that took a lot for me to, because in my mind, that's not something you outsource. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not something you in my mind. But again, you got to work within the confines of your relationship. Go ahead, Chief.
Slightly off topic, bro, but your point kind of made me think of this. Are you guys okay with handing over the traditional gender role to your lady?
Like if she
Uh,
paid all the bills,
okay, let's use that. If she paid all the bills, or P, you've been doing uh handyman shit since you were 12. Like Sarai's like, nah, babe, I want to hang this TV. Like you you know what I'm saying? Like, are you okay with handing over traditional gender roles to your lady? Or do you feel like you still need to do what you do?
my
Yeah.
answer is simple. Yes, I'm great with it.
Certain things, no. I will not let another man come into my home and do anything that I can do. I will not.
No,
I'll
I'm
I'll
talking
get
about
on
your
the
lady. Like if you come in the house and Sarai's hanging the TV because she didn't,
nah.
'cause
I paid for that bitch. That shit is an 80-inch TV. There's no way I'm trusting her. She helped me put that shit on the wall mount, but she wasn't gonna put the TV mount on the wall. Nah, that was gonna be me.
okay.
No, no,
You
not at
come
all.
home
But
and
in the
she's cutting
sense
the
of like,
grass. Do you take over?
for what?
You come home and she's cutting the grass. Do you
He
take
live in
over?
Oakland, man. He ain't got no grass.
Yeah, damn
Nah,
sure ain't got no
I'm in
grass.
Dublin, but I'm in the suburbs. Nigga, there's grass everywhere around this bitch. I still ain't got none, but I'm not in the town, but I'm in the motherfucking suburbs. Niggas cut their grass out here.
Yeah.
That- yeah, it's whatever. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel I for me do more than enough to make me secure within my manhood that doesn't force me to prevent her from doing whatever it is that she wants to do. You know what I'm saying? Because
You're
she's such a girl anyway. Like Sarai's a girl, like a girl, like a fucking
when you say
girl.
girl, like wants to be taken care of, girl. Like
Yeah, she
when you say
wants.
girl, yeah,
I've been working on that outwardly, and she's been vocalizing way more than she ever has about her wanting the princess treatment. She wants me to
that's
pick
what I mean.
up
Yeah,
the princess treatment, and so it's made me realize there are certain things that I have not been doing that she wants and likes. So yeah, she has very feminine qualities to the point where she never really, no matter what it is that she's doing, she doesn't really step outside of that box, if that kind of makes sense. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, but
she
again,
ain't
something you guys have communicated.
Yeah, it's defined roles, it sounds like, whether it's communicated or just understood.
Yeah, I think most of them are understood. Like we know where to fill in the gaps kind of
Right.
organically, which I think speaks to our connection. Like we organically know where to step in. She knows that, like, perfect example, I can't see you guys' faces because I just ran out of my last set of contacts 2 days ago. And what did I not order? Some new fucking contacts. And this was the first time that she didn't order contacts for me to teach me a lesson. So now I've been walking around this bitch blind for the last 2 days.
You ain't got
She
no
ordered
backup
shit.
glasses?
Where
Nah,
your
nigga,
spectacles at, Nick?
I ain't had glasses in a while. But the point is, like, she makes sure shit is stocked under the cabinet, under the sink, and all that. I make sure everything works. And if anything is broken, she doesn't have to ask for it to be fixed because I'm fixing it before she even says anything. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of worked.
I got you, bro. I got my spare. You know what I'm saying?
That's
The,
fucked up. I
the,
see what you did. I see what you
these
did.
the ones I
You
keep
don't even need
keeping.
those right now, but you're just trying to prove a fucking point.
I actually do need these when I'm on the computer, but I can see y'all just fine. But
Okay.
Chief, same question to you. Are you okay with handing over those male gender responsibilities to your lady?
I think kind of like P. It depends on what it is, but I don't think I have a problem with it. I'd be like, yeah, if that's what you want to do, cool. If some, yeah, the first thing come to mind like hanging his TV, like you know what I mean, like that's what she want to do, then I'd be more than happy to help. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to make her feel less than by taking away something that she enjoys doing or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
So Gucci, did you guys see the Gucci Man interview on the Breakfast Club?
I seen a
Pieces.
part of it yesterday.
And I only saw a part of it too. Um, but his wife, Keisha, I think her name is. I could,
Hmm.
yeah. Um, so Gucci Man is diagnosed schizophrenic and has bipolar.
Yeah.
Um, and is bipolar. And his wife, when she sees an episode coming on, she takes over the
His phone.
situation.
Hmm.
Yep, she takes this all the apps. Well, all the apps are already off his phone, but like she does all these things to like preventative measures to step in to make sure he doesn't hurt his brand and do something damning to himself or relationships, right?
Hmm.
I think, and again, I didn't watch the whole episode, but I think that's a huge pendulum swing from when I think of protect and provide,
Mm.
right? Like she is wearing that for the betterment of him and their family. But I don't know, I don't know that that's something that somebody can predetermine go into a relationship and like I need like if I'm wilding, I need my girl to step up and step in and do all these things. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a big deal. You
Did
know,
you,
like
my bad, did you notice his level of comfort while she was talking?
I did,
That's what stood
I
out
did,
most to me.
I did.
He wasn't uncomfortable. He didn't start shifting when his wife started talking about, I delete his apps. I made sure he was calm, he was stoic, and that's just part of her role. And you could tell the dopest thing I saw it yesterday was I was looking at his demeanor while she was talking, and there wasn't an ounce about him that felt insecure or he seemed really proud and appreciative of that. And I thought that was really, really dope about that.
I think
You
that's a
And
know,
beautiful dynamic to have.
yeah,
that's being where your feet are.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's being where your feet are. Like it's like, nah, bro, this is a necessity for our relationship. And I know
Mhm.
Chief, I know we coming up on time, but I know we spoke about this years ago, like the a gender traditional gender role are women a woman making more than us in a relationship.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, Prentice, you touched on it because based on the role that you assumed in your marriage with Shai and Sarai, she had to make more. She was the breadwinner. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? While you were taking on that role. And me and Chief talked, there was a situation many years ago where it wasn't comfortable for him to have someone make more than him.
Mhm.
But my question now, Chief, could you give that gender role up today?
Yeah. I've evolved immensely in terms of like just old ways of thinking and all that good stuff. And I can't even tell you how like how good it feels to look back and be like, nigga, you was wilding. Like just the ideas, like the ideals I carried, and just just you can call it from wherever it came from, but like I'm totally okay with that. Like very accepting of
I got a question for both of y'all. Keep going.
traditional and non-traditional gender roles being applicable in the home. Like just I think now it's just about effectively communicating and doing what works, yo. I really want to be desire to be a helpmate and still, I could still hold my place as the head of house and being a helpmate. You know what I'm saying?
I got two questions for y'all, and it's gonna be probably harder for me and you, Prentice. But I'll start with you, Chief, since it's the a potential plausible scenario. Could you move in to your new girlfriend's, and he doesn't have a girlfriend, I'm saying once he has a lady, could you move into their house and not pay a bill?
No.
Why?
And not pay a bill, I would feel like I don't know. I'd want to take on some responsibility so it feels like our home instead of hers.
I'll flip the question. Could she move in with you and not pay a bill?
Yeah.
You see, like those are roles though, right? Like,
Mhm.
Is it?
and I'm not
Is
saying
it?
I could do it either. So let me be clear. I'm not saying I could do it either. It's just something to think about.
No, no,
Do you
yeah.
think that's necessarily a role though? Like, is that a role, or is that a matter of just your standards for yourself?
Well, think about it, Prentice, right? Go to your scenario. You weren't bringing any money at that period,
Hmm.
but you were very valuable,
Hmm.
right? So why couldn't that apply in this situation? Find ways to add value.
Hmm. Yeah, I think both people got to look at it that way then. Because one thing that we didn't address this whole time, we were only speaking from the perspective of ourselves. And then I think one thing that's important, and maybe it's another topic, is that we also have to consider our partner and how they view gender roles. Because women can
Yeah.
find themselves doing things that they never envisioned themselves doing in a relationship, and yeah, it's to get you guys buying that pocket, but they can also have a problem with that shit too.
Well,
And
I'll give you a real life example. So Lorraine grew up in a household with traditional gender roles,
mhm,
right? Traditional, as you know them to be, gender roles. A byproduct of that is she doesn't want anyone to control how she spends her money.
mm,
You see what I'm saying? And so for me, I'm like, I'm responsible, traditional gender role. I'm responsible for making sure that this family's secure, period. But I'm having an uphill battle with her because she doesn't want to be told how to spend her money.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's way more to it than that, right? I'm just kind of giving you a 10,000-foot view of something that is a traditional gender role that she objected to.
mhm,
You know what I mean? Like she's just like, no, this is how it's gonna go. I'm gonna do well, I'll just tell you guys. At that time, she was paying more of the bills, even though I make, well, not more of the bills. We were splitting the bills 50-50, even though I make more, because that was her way to combat her spending habits.
mm,
So basically, what she said is, look, I'm going to pay more than I should be paying based on percentages of what we both make. But since you don't have to pay the difference, you're just going to take that money and save it for us. but that was a way for her
Just spinning.
to not be told what to do with her money.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? And she
Did it
just
work?
combated it.
Did
Yeah,
it
it
work
worked.
though?
Yeah, it worked. It
Yeah.
worked. And but it's another thing about relationships, bro. I found out what that example I just told you that she's paying more. I found that shit out in a conversation. We were just in the living room talking, and somebody was saying something about something, and she was like, she not came at me, but she checked me. She was like, "We pay the same amount in bills." I'm like, "No, the fuck we don't." And then she started running them down, and I'm like, "Wait, so why you like?" Then I'm like, "Oh, so you got all this money?" So you got all this money, right? like, so what's going on? But yeah, it worked. But that was a but she's so hyper vigilant around, and she's gotten a lot better, right? We talked about it in therapy and all of that, and we have an understanding. That's another conversation. Anyway, we have an understanding now. But my point is that was something she objected to because she did not want to be controlled. So yes, you're right, Prentice. There will be a time where our spouses object to whatever shit we trying to put down. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Where it's like Chief, if you moved in with a woman and she was like, "No, I want you to focus on your career. So sell your house, keep your house, rent your house, whatever you want to do. But we live in here. You're not gonna pay no bills. You're just gonna focus on your career." Would that be any different? Like saying it in that context, would that change?
I think it would still just s- speaking from having some traditional core gender values and ego, I would still feel like I wasn't contributing and I needed to do something. Am I at home with the kids? Is that
No,
my
bro. But
contribution?
this the reason why I gave you that scenario, you focusing on your career is your contribution. That's her investing in your future.
Yeah, I can dig that. But is it? I think I guess not two things can be true or two things can be done at the same time. Like I still focus on my career and contribute to the home.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is your but like that saying your money's no good here. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like your money is because think about it. In that scenario only, she existed before you came about.
Right. So from a fiscal point, I think if I had to bite the bullet, I personally would have to find some way where I felt like my value in the home meant something.
So your value is contingent on contribution.
Part of
Not
it. Part
I'm
of it.
asking.
I can't say contingent on contribution, but I think it makes me feel more quote unquote whole or invested as well. Like, where's my
Hmm.
investment? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? She's investing in me, which ultimately invests in us. But we're now, am I? Where's mine into her? You dig what I'm
Your
saying?
investment is into your collective future.
Yeah, but in that
And
space, in
this
that
is
moment,
hypothetical, right? Like
no,
this
yeah,
doesn't
but I'm saying
exist.
in
I'm
that
just
space,
Yeah,
in
I
that
get it.
moment, it still it feels empty for me. It would feel empty for me
Not
from
enough.
from the point of reciprocity.
Yeah, not enough. Just not enough. Like I get it. I think that's courteous. It sounds great in theory, but I don't think it would feel like enough. Like you said, you got to be given something in return,
Mhm.
especially if someone's that
see.
fucking nice. Like that generous, that compassionate, and invested in you. You have to
I also
reciprocate that
think
in a
that's
way that
trauma
makes.
too, bro. Because from a bitter woman era where it's like this nigga ain't shit, or I'm just paying all the bills. He ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think I ever want that over my shoulder. So that's
So,
probably part of the
but
reason why it's like that.
this is you're right. That is trauma,
Hmm.
right? That is trauma. And I thought about your poem, easy for you to say, right?
Mhm.
Because when I give you that scenario, I'm putting myself in the position that I'm in within my relationship. So I'm like, if Lowe said that to me, I'm like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I'll do. You know what I'm saying? But we've been together 14 years.
Mhm.
So it's like I know exactly what I'm getting. There's no insecurities around that. So it's not fair for me to give you like a hypothetical scenario and then me answer the question based on my real life experience right now. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Yeah,
But
I
like,
think the circumstance definitely changed with the time.
Yep.
So if, like, if it was
what you mean?
fresh for you, if it was fresh for you, could you do it?
Yeah. Only if I still was able to keep my house. You see what I'm saying? So like in that scenario I gave you, you kept your house. You have a two-family house. You move into hers. That's income.
Okay, so that okay, I didn't consider that part, but yeah, that might make it a little bit different because then it's still allowed. So maybe it's a
But that's not income necessarily that you have to contribute.
right, but that's a vacation for us.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
That's
Right,
still
right,
being
yeah.
able to invest in the herd. You've been working your ass off, baby. I got you. We going away for this week. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I'm not saying because again, this is conditioning, bro. Like all of us. Because I said you invest in your future and she pays all the bills. You went to, we went to, oh, we not doing shit. Or
Mm-hmm.
we not contributing. But bro, if you investing in your future, guess what you're gonna be making?
Right. No, no, for
Money,
sure.
right? So it's not like it's going to take you 10 years to make a dollar. No, it may take you 3 months. It may take you 4 or 5 months to make some significant money. It may take you a year, but you're going to be making money and contributing, or at least, if nothing else, sustaining yourself.
I think it that also I think also the part of the just the conversation we have in that thing because I think I would want to know for her like where my value is or how can I show some reciprocity in this regard because I don't want her ever to feel like she's taking care of me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
We
saying?
all we all feel that way. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a consensus. Yeah, and I also think that back to the trauma point. I also think, bro, we're so used to making sure everybody else is straight that we don't know how to receive it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like when I say we don't know how to receive it, what I mean by saying that is we reject it. Because
Subconsciously, probably.
no, yeah, I mean,
We fight it for
unconsciously,
sure.
we definitely fight it. Because what if all you needed to completely change your life was 100% commitment in yourself, and someone saw that you couldn't see
Mhm.
and said, "That's all you got to do," and you didn't do it.
Yeah, but I think that's a lot of my shit now. Like a lot of what I couldn't and can't see, I've learned via, small relationships here and there, but just through these discussions, like just you guys, we do a good job at holding each other accountable. And I've learned so much about just how I was showing up and not even realizing it, not even seeing it
Mhm.
that way. You know what I'm saying? So I think being able to talk to have my lady, what you I think we had a conversation a long, long, long time ago, many episodes ago, and you mentioned like, you both got that governor that kind of like slows you down and be able to, you know, let you know that they see things in you that you don't see. I
Mm-hmm.
don't
Mhm.
have that on a consistent basis. You dig what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
think having that would definitely have a huge impact on how I move and how I see things because I've really grown accustomed to adhering to different perspectives now. Like and really like, why not try looking at it from this perspective, but not having someone immediately around you all the time who can just give you that different
Yeah,
perspective makes a ton of a difference for sure.
yeah, man. We talked about this before. I firmly believe, man, that we'll be fine by ourselves, but women have the opportunity to make us exponentially better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Million percent.
saying? Like
Million
that's
percent.
that's that's the biggest difference, and you get a good one.
What was exponentially better as long as she stay in her role?
Uh,
Nah,
exponentially better if you let her define the role.
word, word.
That's
Yo,
that's the part like
nah, for
that
sure.
is tough for a lot of us, myself included.
We we pushed this past our normal time, which is cool. I ain't tripping about it. And I'm sure the people ain't tripping about it because they're happy to have us back. You dig what I'm saying? Fellas is good. We're
Hmm.
gonna keep this train rolling. Um, let's break it down for the final countdown. Bellhead. Before we even get into our our final thoughts, let them know why we do this, B.
Yeah, man, I'm glad we're back because we've been, one day we'll have an episode about all the shit that's been going on. But we started this space 5 years ago, and it's to create a safe space for Black men to openly engage in conversation surrounding their mental health. And we just try to show up as our best authentic selves every time we show up. And I think that was part of the reason for some of our lapse, right? It's like we weren't being our true authentic selves in some areas that we had to get worked out. And that's it. But I'm glad we're back. I'm glad we are showing up for you all while showing up for ourselves and each other. And yeah, and I just hope that this platform can continue to do what it's been doing and is making it okay to not be okay, and understanding that there's a community of people that you don't even know that are going through the same thing. So that's it.
Yeah, yeah. P, go ahead and give us your final thoughts on the episode, B.
And I've said this so many times: do what works for you and yours. It's that simple, man. I don't have really profound.
Over here, fucking up. Hitting
Just,
mad buttons,
just
Just
man.
let it go. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Just do
LIG
what
get
works
Reggie.
for you and yours, man, and trust your own process, man. Everything works itself out. Like literally everything works itself out. So just believe in your own process, even when you don't know what it is. Just trust the motion and do what works for you and yours.
Go ahead.
Um, my final thought is figure out what's hindering you personally, professionally, collectively in your relationship. What obstacle are you avoiding? And is that obstacle being influenced by outside forces? And is your reality, um, are you living in your reality? Right? Are you taking it day? Are you where your feet are? You know what I'm saying? And are you living to what society tells you good looks like versus what actually looks good for you and yours in your day to day? So, in short, be where your feet are and take your relationship to the next level by what your relationship needs, not by what society tells you should be doing. That's my final thought.
Well said. Well said. I think for me it was just finding comfort in communicating about those gender roles, and I think ultimately gender roles can be thrown aside as long as you and your partner are communicating about what a helpmate looks like for one another. And like kind of like Bell said, it's about what works for you guys, for you and your relationship. And I think the more we can communicate about it, the easier it is for us to kind of look past what we believe to be traditional, what we believe to be, the status quo, and make adjustments to make your thing go the long run. You dig what I'm saying? Like if people are communicating about the expectations of who does what, it just makes that either. Let's not assume. Let's have conversations about it and move in a good direction. Fair?
Love it.
No doubt. Fellas, I love y'all. It's great to be back. I'm excited about it. Let's get right to it, y'all. You can hit us on all social media outlets at All Black Men Need Therapy. Email us at allblackmenneedtherapy@gmail.com. We even have a voice line. It is still active. We are still rolling. It is 860-410-6160. Again, you can shoot us a text, leave us a voicemail. We try to answer, but most of y'all be calling, we be at work. But it's 860-410-6160. We back. And we're gonna keep this train rolling. We appreciate y'all for still rocking with us. Sorry it took us so long, but we here and we're gonna keep this thing moving. Do us all a favor, per usual, and hug a black man today
Do it. My mic was mute. Do it.
and tomorrow.
Yo, especially if he watches the Perfect Neighbor documentary on Netflix. I just
Don't
watched
watch The
that.
Perfect Neighbor. I came on when y'all was talking about that. Don't watch it. I never
Nick, I
watched
just
it.
got done watching it before we got on here, bro. It fucked up my day emotionally. So if he watched it, really give that man a hug.
Yeah, and if he hasn't watched it, suggest he doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't.
I'm not watching it, so I heard that. We out, y'all.
But did you already say hug a black
Yeah,
man today? Oh
Brenda's
yeah,
fuck.
do it. Yeah, peace.
Yeah,